temperature. Here's meteorologist Mike Witcher from the East Tennessee Weather Center.
And good morning, 7 o'clock as we get started on this good old Tuesday, Election Tuesday. Of course, schools are closed and get out and vote. Don your red, white, and blue on this very patriotic day, a big day in America. And of course, we need you to get out and vote. And they say that weather affects voter turnout. Well, the good news is the weather is not going to affect us one single bit today. No rain in the forecast, a bit of a breeze is on the way. I want to take you outside and show you a live look there from Monroe County. This is KMNV. This is the newest live camera for East Tennessee weather. Got that updated launch today, so that's a beautiful sunrise taking shape. And by the way, the East Tennessee YouTube page, you'll be able to find that camera live on East Tennessee YouTube. But soon, that's going to be on the app, and it'll be on the website as well for your viewing pleasure. Live look right there in Hardin Valley. Traffic's running smoothly here this morning, so no issues to get the day started. And we will continue to see some gorgeous weather throughout the afternoon hours. But with that said, we're also talking about the wind that's going to be on the increase throughout the day today. So let's go ahead and get to work with the forecast here for the day. Yesterday, we did make it to 75 degrees in Knoxville. We were at 72 Chattanooga and Tri-Cities, so we were about 10 degrees above average again. Live look at 40 in Weisgarber. Everything's shaping up just fine here to get the morning started. And here's your election day forecast, okay? So, again, gorgeous. We start off with a few clouds this morning. Clouds will break up, but I think it's going to be similar to yesterday, maybe a bit more sunshine than what we had yesterday. We're going to be in the mid to upper 70s as we get into the lunch hour, and forecast highs today, we're going to be pushing close to seasonal records. So we're talking about near record high temperatures expected across the area. All right, so as you step outside this morning, fog's not a major player here to get the day started. We are going to be talking much more about your forecast here in a second. I just wanted to give you a quick little preview, though, that David Landis is going to be joining us here on the broadcast live this morning talking about a big blood drive that they are hosting tomorrow. And you'll want to tune in for this and stay tuned for this because this is a great story and a great cause. So, of course, we're going to keep you posted on that. All right, let's go back to the maps and show you what's going on. We don't have a whole lot of fog out there here early this morning, so that's good news. Temperatures are in the 50s and 60s. Listen, our morning lows should be in the low 40s, upper 30s to low 40s. So for those of you that have been complaining about the warmer weather and wanting it to be chilly, just wait, okay? Just wait. We'll get there, and one day we're going to start complaining about how cold it is. Julie Stutt, by the way, says, get out and go vote today. Yes, ma'am. Temperatures this morning are trending about 5 to nearly 10 degrees warmer than what we were yesterday. Good morning, Seth. How are you this morning? He says go out and vote as well. All right, big area of high pressure. Cooler air stays off to our north and northwest. So we don't see a cool down. This ridge of high pressure will continue to dominate, weaken a little bit as this next trough swings its way into the area. And this next trough is going to help to push a cold front through. But watch as we head through the day today and into the day tomorrow. Not a ton of rain is expected here locally. We're going to get more rain down across parts of Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina mountains. We should stay relatively drier, but there is some rain chances that will be increasing Wednesday and Thursday. We'll break that down come up here in just a moment. Throughout the day today, it's going to be on the breezy side. So like yesterday, those winds to be south-southwest, anywhere from about 20 to 25 miles per hour, gusting anyway, so sustained about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So a little breezy. Again, morning clouds hanging out with us. Should see those clouds break up a little bit more today than what we saw yesterday. And good morning, Jerry. She says, Mike, good morning, everyone. Get out and do some voting today. It's perfect weather. A little bit breezy if you're going to be standing in line outside, but at least it's nice and comfortable, or rather just plain warm. So we should have a nice sunset later on this evening as well. All right, temperatures here this afternoon do top out in the 70s and low 80s, so we are going to stay on the above average side. I mean, look at these temperatures. Average highs for this time of the year are in the low 60s, so we're trending nearly 15 to almost 20 degrees above average and near records. But I don't think we'll break any records necessarily throughout the day today. We'll see how it all plays out, and you can check back in with your evening weather update for information on that. Speaking of the evening, as the polls get ready to close later on tonight, temperatures drop down in the mid to upper 60s to low 70s, so it's going to be a nice evening. We stay above average. Average high for this time of year, cutting East Tennessee in the middle, in the mid 60s. But we're going to be in the 70s and the 80s, 10 to 15 degrees above average. A little bit closer to those seasonal averages as we get into the weekend. Still above average, though. But temperatures come down thanks to tropical moisture that could be swinging our way. I'll explain here in a moment. Dew points stay elevated, so therefore morning lows are going to stay on the warmer side. sides, not talking any shots of colder air swinging its way on through. Okay, maybe next Tuesday, Wednesday, more seasonable low temperatures, which the average is at 41 degrees. But either way you look at it, highs and lows will continue to stay above average as we head through the next several days and the next couple of weeks, possibly through the latter part of the month as we get closer to Thanksgiving. Rain chances are a little bit more elevated. Not a ton of rain expected. Remember, percentages don't tell you the whole story. Timing, duration, intensity, and or rainfall totals. So we will have elevated, and I would imagine Saturday and Sunday, depending on this tropical storm, really depends on, how much rainfall actually works its way into our area. So all the way through Saturday, this would be through Saturday morning, we could see anywhere from a half an inch to an inch of rainfall. And that's only going to increase throughout the day on Saturday and into our Sunday, possibly because we do have this tropical storm. Tropical Storm Raphael, wind sustained at 60. No gusts as of right now, but it's tracking to the northwest at 13 miles per hour. Notice how it kind of curves to the west and northwest, okay? The reason why is because we have high pressure anchored across the southeastern coastline, but there's a trough across the Rockies and the Great Plains that will likely pick this storm up and throw that moisture our way. So let me show you. You can see how Raphael is going to work its way right through over Cuba, parallel the coastline, the western coast of Florida, work its way towards Louisiana, New Orleans area. But that trough is going to be over across parts of the Rocky Mountains and the Great Plains, and that should help to lift it further to the north up the Mississippi River Valley and into the Tennessee Valley as we get into Saturday and Sunday. And if this actually takes place, we're going to see some decent rain where by the end of the weekend into our Monday morning, we could pick up anywhere from a half an inch to over an inch and a half of rain. If this plays out, and that would be all dependent on what this tropical system does, Tropical Storm Raphael. All right, so your 7-day forecast. We're going to continue to see those temperatures stay elevated. Warm weather on the way, a little bit cooler, more seasonable through the weekend and into the start of next week. But it's actually nice to finally see a few rain chances back on the 7-day forecast. And don't forget, if you're joining us on Facebook, if you don't have the East Tennessee Weather app, it's a one-stop shop for weather right here in East Tennessee. It's a free app download. Don't let anybody fool you. You should never pay for weather information. There are local sponsors and advertisers that keep East Tennessee up and running. So if you ever go into one of those advertisers, make sure you support them if you see them on the app or online at eastTNweather.com. All right, so we sure hope you're having a great day. I see a lot of you are on here this morning saying go out and vote, go out and vote. It is going to be pack your patience, of course, because you're going to need those if you didn't do some early voting. It is going to be busy for sure. All right, let's go ahead and jump to what the conversation needs to be here this morning. And this is talking about a big blood drive tomorrow. So joining me this morning live on the broadcast is David Landis. David, good morning. How are you this morning?
Well, how you doing this morning, Mike?
I'm doing fantastic. I mean, it's nice that we actually have some nice weather for voting day, right? For election day.
I'm enjoying
All right, let's go ahead.
Not being heifer.
Yeah, right. Let's go ahead and talk about this event that you guys are doing tomorrow. It's the 12th annual David Landis Blood Drive. You are David Landis. Tell us a little bit about your story.
I am David Landis, and in 2013, excuse me, I had a pancreatitis attack that landed me over at Park West Hospital for about 5.5 months. I was not expected to live. They gave me a 9% chance to live. And while I was there, obviously I survived by the grace of God, my wife, and the great staff at Park West Hospital. But I also received over 40 units of blood, which completely more than replenished my entire body's blood supply. And while I was in the hospital, some colleagues of my wife's in the real estate community came together and started a blood drive while I was actually laying in a hospital bed comatose. And ever since then, because they donated that blood for me, we have tried our best to pay it back and then pay it forward. And we have continued that blood drive, grown it into the largest non-corporate blood drive in the entire state. 1 unit of blood donated saves 3 lives, and we have managed to save over 4,000 lives in the 11 previous blood drives. So we turn this thing into a big event. It's like a block party, and we just try to get as many people to come down and donate. We work with a lot of local, small business and corporate sponsors to put on the biggest show possible.
Well, this is, it's amazing. And there are a ton of gift cards. You guys are going to give away like over $10,000 worth of prizes to bring people out there. I'm going to be showing up there tomorrow as well, so you can come out and say hi. But again, this is a great cause. Is there a certain blood type that we need more than others?
Uh, I
You
don't
may
know
not know the
specific
answer to that.
types. They vary, honestly. Um, but I do know that they have, since before COVID, we work very closely with Medic. That's who's hosting the drive with us. Since before COVID, uh, all plasma products, convalescent products, and blood products have been of short supply. Um, because the blood has a shelf life, we only have a few days in storage. So there's a constant need. Medic supplies, I believe, almost 30 hospitals and medical centers in East Tennessee. Um, and the blood that's given and raised here stays in our community. We actually get so low they have to import blood sometimes. And, if we can do just a little bit to alleviate their need, we feel like we're doing our best. Muhammad Ali, I believe, said that, doing for others and doing community service is the rent we pay for our time here on earth. And obviously somebody paid it and I'm still here. So I'm doing everything I can. And I try to encourage as many other people I can to get out and do the same thing and help us in this cause.
Absolutely. And we've got a great giving community. We know that. It's the volunteer state, right? And so, listen, day after election, it's a good day to hold it. A lot of folks will be out and about. Tell us some of the people that are going to be showing up at the event tomorrow, because there are some pretty cool people to show up at the event tomorrow.
I've got to keep some of it hush hush, but I can tell you that the Ice Bears will be there. I don't know how many players, but we've had, I think, up to eight Ice Bears players there before. The mascot will be there. I heard there's possibly a former WWE star that will be there. The Smokies will be there. The Smokies mascot will be there, and several others we're expecting. Maybe even appearance by Barney Fife. So
this is awesome.
It's good stuff. Maggie the cow, the Maggie Field will be there. She's been a mainstay of our blood drive for, I believe, 8 years. Unfortunately, Mike, you cannot climb on Maggie.
Oh, come on! Where's the fun in that, David?
You'd actually have to bring a pretty tall ladder. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, there we go. So, how's your health now?
Oh, I'm way past where I need to be. I'll say that. I've been out of the hospital, and as good as I'm going to get now for 9 years. I've got a few minor side effects. I walk a little gimpy, but I will take it. I will take anything this world throws at me at this point. For somebody who's not supposed to be here, I'm quite healthy.
Well, and let's tell a little bit of the backstory too, because you actually met my wife before we knew each other. We're actually neighbors, believe it or not. But you actually met my wife. She was one of the nurses that helped you from the get-go. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would say the correct way to put that is your wife met me.
There we go.
I'm pretty sure I was out of it.
Right.
My wife remembers meeting Janelle, but I don't remember meeting Janelle. But once they tell me, I've met so many of my nurses and doctors in the years following. It's always just really moving to me to meet them, and especially when they're as sweet as Janelle. I believe she about teared up. I know my wife was crying when they realized. So, it's awesome every time. We met somebody at an event at the baseball vol celebration at Dick's Sporting Goods. We met nurses, and she literally broke down in tears and ran and got her husband and all of her kids and said, "Hey, this was bed 7. The guy I told you about." She said, "This is why I'm still in nursing." And, stuff like that, stories like that, just they're always moving. Unfortunately, I was so out of it, I don't recognize people. But I am glad that not only did they have a huge impact on my life, I was able to impact them as well.
So what does it mean to you when you see, this is the 12th annual, right? So every year it's probably gotten a little bit bigger. Tell us, what it actually, you give me goosebumps when you talk about this kind of stuff. What does this mean to you to see the community come out the way they do?
Well, everybody kind of always asks me, they say, "Well, you were left here on this earth for a reason." Now you've got to figure out what your reason is. And I always kind of expected to have like this big hallelujah chorus, ringing in my ears when I figured out what my purpose is. But really, I just followed in my wife's footsteps that she laid down, and just picked up the mantle and kept building what she started. And I realized I don't have to do anything monumental. I just need to encourage others to do what they. And every year we've done what we can. Yes, we work very hard at it. Yes, it's an ongoing year-long process, but we're all just doing what we can. And the fact that everybody, all these businesses and corporations, are doing what they can to help us, that's what really means something to me. Everybody truly gets a volunteer spirit about this, and everybody does what they can.
Absolutely. So one more time, tell us some more about the event, where it is, what time it is, what people can do.
It is always the first Wednesday in November. So it's Wednesday, November 6th at 7005 Kingston Pike. That's the West Hills Center, the Beard and Petros parking lot. We will be there from 9:30 to 5:30. Breakfast will be served. Lunch will be served. All day we'll have hot food coming in. Local celebrities, over $10,000 in gifts and prizes, a few very big prizes. Every donor will get, more than just a koozie and a t-shirt. We've got gift cards. We've got dental hygienist products. We've got these, the orthodontist up the street from us gives, a whole oral care thing with a electronic toothbrush and water pick. There's all kinds of stuff. I mean, Home Depot donates big. Everybody gets a prize. And so we try to make it to where it's the blood drive you want to come to.
Absolutely. David Landis, thanks for joining us here this morning on East Tennessee Weather. Wake up with Witcher.
I appreciate you, Mr. Witcher.
And we will see you tomorrow.
I look forward to it, sir.
All right. Have a great day, my friend. I know you're busy, so tell your wife Ivanka I said hi.
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a good day. All right, there you have it, folks. David Landis, the blood drive's tomorrow, 9:30 to 5:30 over at Petros off of Kingston Pike. So come join us if you want to give some blood. I will be out there at some point, not quite sure exactly what time. I'll let you know on social media. Of course, check out my stories on social media as well. Pretty cool stuff right there. When we first met David and they were telling us a story, we just happened to move into the neighborhood that they moved into, that they lived in. And they were like, oh my gosh. And they came up and gave Janelle a big giant hug. And they're like, oh my gosh, you are amazing. And I was like, what's going on? I found out their story, and they've worked very hard every single year to make this bigger and better and a great cause. As Buck was saying here this morning, O+ blood donor here, save a life, he says. Yes, absolutely. I know some of you might not be able to donate blood. Some of you can't. I understand that, i.e. Krista, due to anemia. But if you can get out there tomorrow between 9:30 and 5:30, and of course, we'll remind you tomorrow morning on Wake Up with Witcher. So we sure hope you have a great day. But you know what time it is? It's time to keep the show moving. It's 7:18 right now, and we'll take you back outside one of the brand new cameras. That's not a brand new camera. Let's get the brand new camera up and running. There it is. Brand new camera, Monroe County. How about that? Right there at the airport, KMNV, and a gorgeous sunrise taking shape here this morning. Can't go wrong with that. A live look there also in Hardin Valley here this morning. And traffic is running smoothly. A lot of folks, traffic and volume is going to be on the lower side today, just due to the fact that it is election day, but the polls will be busy. So get out and do some voting. All right, let's talk about the holidays for the day today. Today is November 5th. A, it's election day. B, we're celebrating birthdays and events. Obviously, we have a national event going on today. But happy birthday to anybody celebrating a birthday here today. We sure hope you have a great day. The other holidays is National Love Your Red Hair Day. Any redheads out there? Are there any redheads on the show here this morning? Any? All right, we'll keep going. How about National Donut Day? I think we can celebrate that. Anybody like some donuts? I do watch Shark Tank a lot. It's like one of my favorite shows, and there was somebody on there with some healthy donuts the other day, and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And they were like 70, 50 calories and whatnot, so that was pretty cool. But that's all we have. Birthdays and events, National Love Your Red Hair Day, and National Donut Day, along with Election Day. How about that? Election day. All right, my friends. That's all the national holidays we have going on here today. There we go. Sandra says, my two sons are redhead. That's awesome. Amy Dunaway, good morning. She says, vote today, donate blood tomorrow. Absolutely. Buck says, I needed 5 pints of blood in 1999 that saved my life. Blood of life. That's amazing, Buck. And that's why you all know, especially if you've been through it, that this is a great cause and a great thing that Ivanka and David are doing. Obviously, his life was saved. Amy says, love this morning's special guest, David Landis. You rock. So proud of all your family for all of what your family does. Love you all. Seth also says, love the Landis family. Where to donate. There you go. That made your eyes sweat, but I have to work tomorrow at the course. Boo! Adrian says, please come out and donate if you possibly can. And Buck says, have a fantastic Taco Tuesday. Kathy's joining us this morning. Good morning, Kathy. She says, good morning to everybody. Let's see. Ooh, Duck Donuts. There we go, Buck. Duck Donuts is good. There's also another one called, I think, do we have a Voodoo? We have a Voodoo Donuts here, don't we? There's a lot of donut shops, to be honest with you. A lot of donut shops. Let's see. I wanted to also share with you here this morning. Remember, this is Ivanka and David right there. There they are. Let's get them so you can see them. There they are. Look at those two good-looking people right there. Great-looking people. Let's see. I also got a chance. You probably saw this on social media, but this is what I was doing yesterday, installing that camera at Monroe County Airport. Look at those guys working hard to get the camera up on top of the hangar right there. That hangar looks right at the airport, looks right at the runway. So again, you can find this on the East Tennessee Weather YouTube channel. If you go to playlists and then you click on live cameras, that is the only one that is currently live right there. But there are a lot more to come. And of course, I got to meet and hang out with Tom. Tom's the manager there at the airport. They have East Tennessee Weather playing on in the background all the time. Also, some of you may, Donna's Old Town Cafe in Sweetwater. Is that in Madisonville? Donna's Old Town Cafe. Melissa owns and runs that. She used to be on the show a lot. Well, that's her husband. He flies a lot. And so he was over at Monroe County Airport. And then, of course, we had to get a group photo with the entire crew. Some of the fellows that just hang out at the airport. Again, they were like downloading the East Tennessee Weather app, and they were like, this is awesome, Witcher. I was like, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Way to support. So I do appreciate those guys a ton. So cool stuff coming, and I'll let you know when those cameras are available to view, or at least that camera for now is available slowly, right? One brick at a time is what we're doing here at East Tennessee Weather. But my goal is to bring you live weather cameras that you'll be able to view on the app and online at eastTNweather.com, as well as YouTube. I'll be able to pull them onto the broadcast as well. So lots of great stuff going on there. And again, thanks to Tom and the crew over at Monroe County Airport for allowing East Tennessee Weather to put up that beautiful view, because, my friends, it is a gorgeous view, and I can change the view as well. Anytime. I mean, the sunrise down there. And that's what Tom was saying. He's like, the sunrise down here is absolutely mind-blowing. So we'll take you back down to Monroe County Airport. Look at that. What a great morning to get out if you're a general aviator and do some flying. Oh, it just is amazing. All right. It is now 7:24. Got election day, so I know a lot of you may have to hit the road to head off to the polls. Remember to pack your patience here today. It is going to be very busy. You're going to have to wait in line, obviously, to cast your vote. So pack your patience there. In the meantime, I sure hope you have a great day. Of course, tomorrow, I hope to see many of you over at the blood drive off of Kingston Pike. I'll post more on that again, and we'll talk more about that here tomorrow morning as well. What's going on? Doesn't feel like November, does it? I mean, we're talking about near record high temperatures for the day today. The Knoxville record high temperature today is 84, set back in 1948. We're forecasting low 80s. I don't necessarily know that we'll break a record there. Chattanooga's record is 80, set back in 1948. They'll likely break the record. And Tri-Cities is 79, set back in 2022. So today, tomorrow, even on into our Thursday and Friday, we're going to stay above average. But finally, some much-needed rain is on the way. If you happen to miss the forecast at the very beginning, I'll send you back to the 24-hour weather channel, of course. In the meantime, have a great day. It's election day, my friends. We'll see you back here tomorrow for Wake Up with Witcher.
From the East Tennessee Weather Center, here's your morning weather update with meteorologist Mike Witcher.
And good morning and happy Tuesday. It's election day, my friends. Get out and vote. Don't let the weather bother you because guess what? It's not going to bother us throughout the day today. They always say that weather definitely affects voter turnout. And today, not the case one single bit. Beautiful weather is on the way, just like it was yesterday. We were in the low to mid 70s yesterday, and that's really going to be the story as this ridge of high pressure dominates the weather pattern. Big trough of low pressure out to our west. That will usher a cold front into our area as we get into our Wednesday, Thursday, elevating our rain chances. More rain to our west. It's going to stay mostly to our west, but got a nice southerly flow. We'll see some scattered showers as we get into our Wednesday. And again, not a huge rain event here over the next couple of days. So for the day today, if you're heading off to the polls early this morning, quiet and mild, we're in the mid-50s. As we get into the noon hour, we'll be in the upper 70s. And into the afternoon hours and evening, we'll be in the 80s, dropping into the mid-70s as we get closer to the time the polls will close this evening. So again, no excuses, but it will be a little bit on the breezy side. So expect those winds out of the south, anywhere from 10 to 15, 20 miles per hour, gusting to about 20, 25 at times. So it is going to be another breezy day, just like it was yesterday. We start the morning off with some cloud coverage hanging out with us. The clouds should break as we get through the afternoon, but I think like yesterday in the last couple of days, we have that southerly flow. Yesterday, we saw a lot more cloud coverage than I anticipated, but that could be the case again today, although I do think that we'll see just a little bit more sunshine. And we're going to stay rain-free throughout the day today. Into the evening hours we go. If you have ball games or plans tonight, by 7 o'clock, we're at 69 as the polls close, and then get into the upper 60s by 8 o'clock this evening. And this trend's going to continue all the way through the rest of the week. All the way through Friday, we stay elevated and above average by 10 to 15 degrees. A little bit more seasonable weather for the upcoming weekend, but we're talking more cloud coverage and more rain. And then we'll get down closer to those seasonal averages as we get into next Monday. Dew points stay elevated as well. That's a sign that we have more humidity, and it has been a little bit on the humid side, if you will, especially considering the time of the year. But that also is going to keep our morning lows well above average. Average low now is 41 degrees. Well, we'll drop down into the 40s possibly next Tuesday. But in the meantime, we're going to stay well above average. And I think that's going to be the story as we head through the middle and getting into the latter part of November. Now, here's your rain chances. Again, don't concentrate on the percentages. It doesn't tell the whole story, timing, duration, intensity, or rainfall totals. But we will have some elevated rain chances. I think this weekend we'll likely continue to tailor these up as we talk about a tropical system that's heading our way. So before we get there, not much rain through Thursday, not much rain through Saturday, but we'll start to see the rain increasing across the deep south as tropical moisture starts to move on through. We're talking about Tropical Storm Raphael. Tropical storm right now could become a Category 1 hurricane later on tonight and into our Wednesday, hanging strong as a Category 1 into the Gulf of Mexico. So we're going to get some rapid intensification and then should weaken a little bit. Now notice it curves to the west. That's because we got high pressure anchored across the southeastern U.S. A trough, though, across the Great Plains probably is going to help to push this back further to the north as we get into our Saturday, Sunday, Monday timeframe. So watch this. There's a storm system right there. Works its way right over Cuba as a Category 1 into the Gulf of Mexico, curving because of high pressure to our north, and then just kind of stalling out until this trough moves on through, which should help to pick it up and move it northward, at which point we see some tropical moisture moving on through the area. I've had a lot of comments on social media. Okay, not another Helene. We don't need another wallop like that, and we're not going to get anything like that whatsoever, okay? We don't have the rain event leading up to the storm system, and it's a totally different storm system. Does not have the punch that Helene did. But we are going to see elevated rain chances over the next 7 days, and here locally, you could see some good, solid, drought-busting rain, anywhere from a quarter to well over an inch of rain. Can't be ruled out. And again, most of that will come through as we head into the upcoming weekend. So here's your 7-day forecast. We're going to stay elevated with those temperatures, a little bit more seasonable weather into the weekend thanks to the clouds and the rain that's going to set up shop and move its way on through. But that really should be about the extent of it. Don't forget that you can always track your daily forecast weather updates, 1 Minute with Witcher, interactive radar, and also access to the only 24-hour weather channel right here in East Tennessee with the East Tennessee Weather app. It's a great tool to have in your back pocket. All right, we sure hope you have a great day. It's election day, my friends. Get out and vote. Do your civic duties. Your next weather update's coming up at noon.